Hi friends, it's Amy. Welcome to my bookish life. Today we're unboxing my Books and Treasures box. So let's get to it. Books and Treasures is a used book box subscription service. You get a used thrifted book, and then you also get a bunch of goodies, bookish goodies. One of the things that you get is a mug, and then you also get some coffee or tea depending on what you order. In the description box you will see my refer a friend link. If you would like to check out Books and Treasures, absolutely check out what there is to see there. I love opening this box every month. It just makes me feel so happy. One of the main genres that I ask for is middle grade, just because I love to be able to put the book into my classroom once I have it. But I do have other genres marked as well. So I always like to look at the coffee first. We have caramel vanilla cream, butter toffee, and hazelnut. This is Gloria Jean's coffee and a Green Mountain coffee. I like the quality of those. Oh, some homemade bookish stickers. You have books and coffee, so fitting for this subscription box, and take me to the bookstore. Nice. Look at that. Oh, this is one of those yard flags. Reading helps your mind bloom. Oh my gosh, that's cute. Oh, I love it. Nice. And I have one of those flag holders, so that's perfect as well. This is a button, and it says, "Love your shelf." I love this font too. Oof. Oh, you always get a bookmark. And it says it's book o'clock. Bookmarks are made out of different material. So this month it is a metallic bookmark with the tassel. But they are always so cute, and it's not flimsy, and I love that about it. I don't know what this is. Is it a candle? Yeah, it's a candle. Banned Books Society. What is that going to smell like? Oh, it's like a coconutty vanilla. It doesn't say. It's just got a bunch of warnings on the bottom, but it's I love the smell of coconut more than I love the taste of coconut. I think that's coconut. Oh, just want to set that out and smell it all the time. And then I have the mug, and on the Books and Treasures Instagram, I believe Sarah is her name. Sarah said that it was one of her favorite mugs that she designed. Protect the mug at all costs. Oh, okay. It's the same on both sides. So it says Once Upon a Time. And it's got the book with the bookmark and then the floral arrangement behind it. And then I love this like writing in the back. Oh, it's really pretty. I can see why she said she loved it. it's pretty. And these are nice sized mugs. I really like them. All right. And then I have the book. Okay. Okay, ready? Soft cover. Riding the Flume. Don't tell anyone. The only safety is secrecy. During the summer of 1894, the giant sequoia trees, the oldest living things on Earth, are being felled for lumber in Northern California. When 15-year-old Francie finds a note hidden in the stump of an old sequoia, she immediately recognizes her sister's handwriting, but Carrie died in an accident 6 years ago. Could Carrie's secret still be important? Francie's search for the truth turns dangerous, and she needs to get to St. Joseph fast. She's faced with a choice of either giving up or riding the Flume, a rickety track that carries lumber from the mills in the mountains to the lumber yard in St. Joseph. Should Francie risk her life for the secret her sister fought to keep? Oh my. Riding the Flume by Patricia Curtis Fish. I think the PF together makes a. It might be Pafish. You know, I've seen it both ways. Heard it both ways. I've never heard of this author before. All right. This was published in 2002. Huh. To Jack, who sees truth in contradictions. Readers always ask me whether the places and people in my novels are real. In the case of Riding the Flume, the setting bears a conscious and yet not exact resemblance to the area west of Kings Canyon and Sequoia National Parks in California. Connorsville and St. Joseph are made-up towns, and Connors Basin is also an imaginary place. However, one of the longest lumber flumes ever built had its beginning point in Millwood, California, a town that no longer exists, but that used to lie northwest of what is now Kings Canyon National Park. This flume carried lumber out of the mountains down to Sanger, a small town east of Fresno, California. It was 54 miles long, 20 miles longer than the lumber flume I've created for Riding the Flume, but not as dangerous to ride. As for people, no characters in this book bears any intentional resemblance to any real people, living or dead. The first sentence of the prologue is, all week the Sierra Lumber Company's best axemen had swung their double-bitted axes, chopping little by little into the spongy red bark and then the bright, fragrant heartwood of the ancient sequoia trees. It had seemed impossible, like two ants taking tiny bites out of the tall man's ankle. How could something so small as a man with an axe conquer something so huge as a giant sequoia? But it had been done before. The sound of the chopping was sharp and steady in the clear mountain air. As soon as the axemen had made a huge 7-foot-high notch in the trunk, the sawyers had gone to work on the other side of the tree. They'd already welded two cross-cut saws together to make one long saw about 25 feet long. Two men each took one end of the saw. Its sharp teeth looked like a monstrous giant's grin. From where the sawyers stood, they couldn't even see the notch, a dark and weeping wound on the other side of the tree. Back and forth they drew the saw, and it slowly slid into the bark. The sawyers made it seem easy, but it was clear from the sweat running down their faces that it was much harder than it looked. Deeper and deeper the saw sank into the tree until it had almost reached the notch, and then the sawyers stopped. The felling of the first sequoia in Connors Basin was going to be an event for the whole town to celebrate. Thomas Connor would see to that. The top of his carriage was visible over the crowd as he led the townspeople to the grove. They came in buggies, in wagons, and on foot. Nobody wanted to miss it. A small platform had been hastily built not far from the dying giant. Thomas Connor gestured, and his driver pulled the carriage up beside the platform. Connor stepped from the carriage, straightened the coat of his neat black suit, then turned to help his wife and his daughter, seating them on the chairs waiting for them on the platform. Mrs. Connor's face was hidden by the dark veil of her wide-brimmed hat. Her fancy dress with its full skirts and puffed sleeves would have been out of place here in the woods on a regular day. But today was as special as the 4th of July. Thomas Connor raised his arms over his head, and the noisy chatter of the crowd died away. The woods were empty for once of the pounding axes, the crash of the trees falling, the screeching of the logs as they were dragged along in the wooden chutes to the mill, and the shouts and curses of the lumbermen. It was so silent that people could actually hear the birds calling and twittering in the branches of the trees hundreds of feet overhead. I'm really liking the writing. It's very descriptive, but not in an overbearing way. Of course, this is just the prologue, so we're not really seeing any action yet. But I think that's going to be a really fun one to dig into. Let me know if you have heard of this book. I have never heard of this book before, or this author. I'm going to have to look more into this author. Because I really am liking how her style of writing. It's very descriptive and really paints a picture, because I'm seeing all of that as I'm reading it. I just really like that. So let me know if you've heard of this book. I would love to hear your thoughts. Do you think that it sounds interesting? I am very intrigued by this sister and the letter and everything that goes with it. I always love chatting with you down in the comments. Commenting, liking, and subscribing really help my channel grow, and I so appreciate you for doing that. I hope you're finding something wonderful to read, and until next time, happy reading. Bye.